watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Happening now at 6, covering the entire DMV. A 22-year-old Northern Virginia man missing for a week and a half found dead in Fredericksburg earlier tonight. More on where the police investigation stands at this hour. Metro announcing some changes to service this weekend. We have a breakdown of the delays you can expect on the red, green, and yellow lines. Plus, stretching your dollar while you're tackling your taxes. The credits you can claim to put money back in your wallet.
And our weather is quiet tonight and clear for tonight as well. Chilly. We'll talk about the chill and how low the thermometer gets this evening for your Sunday morning. All coming up in just a few minutes.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us for DC News Now at 6. I'm Daniel Hamburg in for Ben Dennis. New tonight, police in Prince George's County are investigating a deadly shooting early this morning. Officers responded to a home on Old Indian Head Road around 2:15 a.m. Inside the home, they found a man suffering from a gunshot wound. He later died at the scene. Police don't have any suspects at this time. The investigation is ongoing. And staying in Prince George's County, the University of Maryland Police Department charged a man for 3 indecent exposure incidents at the university. Officers responded around 4 p.m. Thursday to Elkton Hall after a student told them a man exposed himself to her in a white van. The driver was stopped by police and later released. The suspect, 36-year-old Ryan Sabula, was also connected to 2 separate incidents that happened on January 24th. He is now facing 3 counts of indecent exposure. And over in D.C., a fire in the district has displaced a family and their dog. This happened in Northeast near the corner of 50th Place and Sheriff Road. D.C. Fire and EMS says 2 adults were taken to the hospital with serious non-life-threatening injuries. The Red Cross is investigating. And meteorologist Scott Sumner joining us now. It was a bit chilly today, but not as cold as I was expecting.
Yeah, no, it has been a little bit cool this afternoon, but really we didn't have much of a wind, Daniel, to speak of, so that helped out a little bit. Right now, clear skies, 44 degrees is what's being seen outside. We got up to 51 today in the district. That was the high. The morning low was 35 degrees. The average high should be normally 46 degrees, the average low of 30, and the record 65 set back in 1927, 0 in 1895, the record low. Of course, we're not going to be seeing any 0-degree temperatures, but it is going to chill down this evening as you'll see the numbers fall out of the 40s and into the 30s, down to around the freezing mark, though, around 4 or 5 o'clock this morning, going into your Sunday morning. So it will start off chilly, but it will be sunny out there. A crisp and clear start to your day on Sunday like it has been this afternoon. Quiet weather really to start the week, and for much of the upcoming week here, we'll have some moderating temperatures to speak of, and we'll also talk about a little bit of rain returning, but really it's more of the temperature forecast than anything else, and we'll break it down for you coming up with the 7-day in just a bit. Daniel?
All right, thank you, Scott. Well, 3 people have now been indicted by a grand jury for running a high-end brothel network in Virginia. You may remember they were arrested in December last year. The charging documents allege that the 3 used expensive apartment complexes in Tysons and in Boston, Massachusetts as brothels and would allegedly fly in women to these sites for clients. Each person arrested faces charges connected to running the prostitution network and money laundering. They face up to 25 years in prison and up to $750,000 in fines. Now in Alexandria, pushback on the plan for a new arena as the Caps and Wizards mull over a move to the area. Officials from Alexandria, the Commonwealth, Monumental Sports, and several transit agencies met on Thursday night to discuss a proposal addressing traffic needs in Potomac Yard. Included in that plan are improvements for roadways, the nearby metro station, and potential future improvements, including a water taxi and a commuter Virginia Railway Express station. The price tag would be between $245 and $325 million. Well, last night, an organization called Stop the Potomac Yard Arena released a statement in response to that meeting. It says in part that the plan presented offered few solutions for neighborhoods that would be most affected. It goes on to say the city needs to listen to residents' concerns and vote down the arena proposal to, quote, avoid the train wreck coming and help the citizens. Heads up, Metro riders. WMATA is doing maintenance work on several rail lines this weekend. Our Tosin Fakile has more on the changes and closures you need to be aware of.
This weekend's track work will impact the green, red, and yellow lines. Metro is installing fiber optic and radio cables and replacing platform edge lighting. So here's how it works. On the red line, the Woodley Park and Cleveland Park stations will be closed. Free shuttle buses will replace service between DuPont Circle and Van Ness. Trains are scheduled to run every 6 minutes during the day and every 10 minutes at night. On the green and yellow lines, trains will single track between Mount Vernon Square and L'Enfant Plaza. On the yellow line, trains are scheduled to run every 18 minutes. On the green lines, trains will run every 18 minutes between U Street and Branch Avenue and every 9 minutes between U Street and Greenbelt. And of course, Metro is telling you to plan ahead for these delays. And all other lines will operate as normal. Regular service is expected to return on Monday. In the studio, I'm Tosin Fakile. Back to you.
Well, today is National Ice Cream for Breakfast Day. Ice cream shop Here's the Scoop DC celebrated the event by asking the community to come and enjoy breakfast-inspired desserts. The event was from 10 a.m. to noon. The shop asked people to show up in their pajamas to enjoy breakfast-inspired desserts with live music, giveaways, and more. It cost $5 to get in. Well, turning now, we are honoring Black History all month. Tonight, we look at one D.C. nonprofit empowering young people to have their voices be heard. Black Swan Academy gives middle and high schoolers leadership skills to advocate for their communities.
Black Swan Academy gives young people a seat at the table.
They split you into groups and each group does a different project.
High school program manager Rachel Downs says the mission is simple.
We're all about youth leadership and we foster youth leadership through civic engagement and advocacy and community organizing.
That means students testifying in front of the D.C. Council and rallying in the streets.
Safety to me is a feeling.
Marcus Williams, an 11th grader at Anacostia High School, brings passion to the program.
I would definitely say I'm making a difference in the community. Many of my peers don't do the things that I do.
He and his peers helped develop a Black Youth Agenda.
The issues that are on our current Black Youth Agenda are related to housing, sanitation in schools, mental health and healthcare.
Issues the kids in the program face.
Police-free schools, like getting the police out of my schools because it's triggering. Mental health because I dealt with it a lot and I know how hard it could be.
11th grader Anisha Perry wants district leaders to listen.
I feel like they should be listening to me because I'm the youth of the city. Like, I'm the generation that's out here right now and has to deal with everything.
Her classmate, Jermaine Williams, sees it the same way.
It gives me an opportunity to speak for myself and for what I want in my life.
And he says the brainstorming doesn't happen just within Black Swan.
I get to speak on what I learned here in my school and get to talk about it to my peers and the adults there. And then I can also get their opinions on how they feel about certain situations. So that way I can bring it back to Black Swan and then talk about it more.
The most rewarding part for these teens is taking action.
I love like going to the council member buildings and speaking out or going to hearings and all that stuff.
Downs says it's inspiring to see them make change.
It's really rewarding to be in community with such like passionate, like inspiring young people.
Being in Black Swan, it really makes you feel like you're a part of something, like it's a community itself.
Breathing fresh ideas into difficult topics, making sure future decisions are made with future leaders in mind.
With young people leading the charge, like it's only going to get better. I really do believe that.
Well, just into the newsroom, police in Fredericksburg, Virginia, confirming they found the body of 22-year-old Darius Apia, who has been missing for almost a week and a half. Police are still working to identify how Apia died. We have been covering Apia's disappearance all week here on DC News Now. Our Dave Laval will join us with more on that investigation later tonight.